Hey everyone, Josh here with Fresh Start Customs, and today I'm going to be showing you guys some tips and tricks on how to build a tight fit box. I've got an example box here that I created slightly looser than usual so I can just kind of hand fit it all together. This one will need glued, but I'm going to show you examples of what you can do in order to help prevent like chips or breaks of your boxes when you assemble the tight fit kind. For example, this one is tight fit. I can shake the box, the parts aren't going to fall apart. The only thing that I didn't glue yet was the inside lid, so I can pull this lid out. The only thing that needs glued on this design, essentially, if you use the right parts, is the inside lid. I'm going to glue that in later. But as you can see, I can pull on all these parts here. Nothing is going to fall off because it's all completely pressure fit using a rubber tip hammer here to assemble. So this is the proper one that you should have. It should all be tight fit if you're using the correct material. If you're using looser material, you might have to adjust for what's called kerf. Kerf is basically the amount of material that's destroyed by the laser as it cuts out, and you have to adjust for that so the unit isn't like wiggly or wobbly. So to measure your material thickness, you can use this like tool called a digital caliper tool. We covered this pretty much in detail in a couple other videos. Super important, #1 tool to have. If you don't have it, check out our Amazon affiliate shop with the link below. That'll help the page as well if you want to. The other thing that you're going to need is a rubber tip hammer here. This is the second most important tool in my opinion if you're going to be doing 3D designs like this where they're snap fit together. This is basically the design's going to be super tight that you're going to have to hammer it in. You can't get in by hand. You're going to have to tap it lightly. And you don't want to do it with a regular hammer or else you'll leave dents or crack the wood. This soft tip hammer, you're just literally going to use the weight of its own weight here and just tap it into place. And that's what this is used for. Now I purposely made this box slightly looser. The actual design in my shop is just as tight as this one, but I made a looser fit here so I can hand break it apart, show you guys the tips and tricks for building it. So we're going to go ahead and get into building this here. I'm going to move these out of the way, and then I may need to use the hammer still because I did slightly make this somewhat of a kerf adjustment just so it can hold together without glue, but it's definitely going to need glue because I could shake it and it'll fall apart. So for example, if I shake this, you can already see there's a piece that fell off right here. That's what you don't want. So I'm going to pull this apart, all the pieces, and just show you really quickly how you can assemble this and just different tips here. So let me go ahead and pull all this apart here so you can see what's going on. So as you can see, I got all the parts taken apart here for the most part. I'll get to that in just a second here. But essentially what you want to do is you want to start with the longer parts, like the longer edges here. And then you want to flip it up on its side and then hammer it straight down into the pieces. So you would just hammer right on this edge straight down. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit so you guys see what's going on here. So you're going to take this edge and line it up perfectly and then just hammer straight down just like that. And then you're going to take the other side, the long piece, and do the exact same thing where you're going to line them up with the slots. It'll be tight, it won't go in by hand, and then you're going to hammer it down. Of course, this one's going to go in by hand because I did some adjustments to it. Now, whenever you get the two long sides on, what you can do is you can take the whole unit, flip it on its side like this, and then line the smaller unit up just like this, and then hammer it on the top edges so you don't break it. It's going to pop right into place downwards like this, and then you can take the whole unit like this and flip it over and then hammer it straight down onto this side. So that's how I recommend doing it. A lot of times people will try to just hold the unit like this sideways and then hammer those little pieces on, and then they end up chipping it because they're not hitting it completely flush. If you're holding it on the table like this, then you know it's completely flush and you can tap it straight into place. Then you won't chip your pieces. So you're going to essentially do that same thing with the bottom half here. So I'm going to just snap those together really quick because you know what's going on. This side first, this side next, and then you would flip it on its side and hammer it straight down. You just got to make sure all those pieces line up, and you can kind of move them, wiggle them back and forth while you tap them to make sure they fall into place. And then this side last just like that. So we just basically repeated the process for this side. And as you can see, we've got the bottom and top half here. So let me move that out of the way and show you what's going on with this piece here. Let me take this piece apart. So with this piece, this is the center tray. This is going to be what holds the lid on. So you can essentially, I've got a piece of masking tape on there still, there we go. So you can essentially take this piece, and what I would do with this piece is kind of do the opposite. Treat the smaller piece as the bottom, and then you're going to use the two long pieces, hammer them straight down, kind of like we did over there when it was on its side. And when you have those two hammered in, you can then flip the whole unit onto this other piece. It's kind of wobbly right now because it's not adjusted for kerf correctly, but yours will be tighter. And then when you have it all together here, you'll just hammer this whole piece down straight onto that piece, just like that. And then that will build the whole tray. So I'll get that together here. Like I said, it's going to be wobbly for me because I've got it loose. And there's the inside tray. So this inside tray can then plop right into this bottom piece like this, and it should be nice and tight. There you go. And then all you got to do is use a little dab of glue on the inside here, add your lid, the inside lid, and then you can flip the whole unit over and put it together, and that's the entire piece. This would go together a lot better because, as you can see, it's already fallen apart since I've adjusted for that curve. There we go. So as you can see, there is the entire unit all put together. That is how I would assemble a box so you avoid chips or dings on your material. Like I said, this would be a lot tighter fit if you get the actual design. I did half the normal curve just so I could break it apart by hand to show you guys, so I wasn't hitting the table and shaking it all over the place and shaking the camera like I usually do. So I'm trying something different there, but that is pretty much it. So once you have it assembled, it'll be just like this bigger box here, which will be a lot tighter. You can shake this one all you want. It's not going to fall apart. Super tight design, super tight fit. You can pull on the pieces. It's not going to fall apart. This is a really good fit. I think I use 0.016 for the kerf for the tight one, and then for this one I use 0.008 for the kerf on this one, and that is the difference between it. So that can also be caused by using the wrong size material as well. So that's pretty much it, you guys. I just wanted to show you quick assembly tips on how you could avoid chips and cracks on your material there for building boxes. I hope this video helped you guys out, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.